Hey, this is Sami Zayn, WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, and for my birthday they are letting me pick a match from deep in the WWE Vault, so I went deep into our video library for this one, and it is a match featuring a competitor that I've studied extensively in my career. I've been honored to have been compared to him many times over the years. There are definitely some stylistic similarities. A man called El Generico, and this is El Generico versus Samuray del Sol.
Fans, it is time for your main event of the evening. It is scheduled for one fall. Your referee is Brandon Tully. Introducing first, in the corner to my right, with an evolved record of 2 wins and 3 defeats, ladies and gentlemen, Samuray del Sol! And his opponent, in the corner to my left, also with an evolved record of 2 wins and 3 defeats, ladies and gentlemen, the Generic Luchador,
Generico, as ever, ready for war here. He sort of explained to me, I believe what I gathered out of the broken English of a conversation I had with him earlier this afternoon, that perhaps he not underestimated Samuray del Sol, but wasn't really aware of what he was bringing to the table in their first match back in Florida in June. He found out in a hurry, obviously, as quickly, in the span of 1 weekend, I believe, they went 1-1.
Actually, back-to-back nights. It was Evolve 14 in Ybor City, which saw El Generico victorious, courtesy of his patented top rope brainbuster. And then the next night, the student kind of became the teacher in St. Petersburg at Evolve 15. And it was the rising sun of Samuray del Sol earning him the victory, knotting this series of matchups at 1 apiece. And both these men have mentioned to me over the past couple of days by the opportunity, fortunately through Google Translate, to communicate with El Generico. Watching the tapes of both their matches intently ever since it was announced that they'd be fighting one more time here tonight, looking for really anything he could find in those 2 matches that he could have done differently that would have earned him 2 victories instead of 1. And of course, it was back in Dragon Gate, USA, the month after that series of matches in Florida that these 2 teamed up in a tremendous matchup as a tag team, falling to defeat to the team of Shima and AR Fox. Back in Detroit. And that show available right here on demand at WWNlive.com. And right now, it is Samuray del Sol. Both these guys really world travelers over the past several months. Samuray del Sol just back in the U.S. after an extended tour of AAA in Mexico, and El Generico always making waves throughout the wrestling world, just back from a tour of Europe, I believe.
Always world travel. Of course, that match you mentioned back in Detroit was, in fact, a non-title match. Sorry to step on your toes, Lenny, but maybe looking with a victory, they could have earned a title match in the future, but not partners tonight, opponents in this main event rubber match showdown. It would take a guy like Samuray del Sol or El Generico to make escaping a wrist lock make it look exciting. It's just what these guys do.
We are back to the action. Standing wrist lock now by del Sol, and is Generico with a distinct height and size advantage. But it's del Sol sweeping the legs, not even a cover right there. Oh, this time lands on his feet as Generico tried to sweep the legs, and a second time, it's the Hurricane Rana, as Samuray del Sol showing an amazing ability to change body position in mid-air and score that offensive maneuver, and earning, obviously, a little bit more of the respect of El Generico right there as he shook his head, nodding at the impressive nature of that aerial attack from Samuray del Sol, as it indeed is Lucha here in Voorhees, New Jersey in our main event.
signature lucha this afternoon. You mentioned that ability to change body positions in midair. I mean, that's something you can practice so much, but at the same time, that's God-given. That's something you're born with, that athleticism that we watch. It just comes through your computer screens, comes over the guardrails and into your laps sometimes. These live events, these guys just absolutely breathtaking, amazing athletes. So much we've seen all show, but especially here in the main event. Generico, he's been in the ring with the world's best. You name it, he's pretty much been in the ring with the guy come down the independent wrestling pike in the last 5 years. El Generico has combated him, so for him to tip his cap, to don his mask to Samurai del Sol is quite a compliment.
Yeah, definitely said that he sees a lot of himself in Samurai del Sol, and right there the veteran got the better of that exchange. That was something we saw a lot of in their first encounter. Generico was able to gain the advantage and maintain it for longer periods of time than Samurai del Sol was. In that first matchup, Generico seemed to have an answer for everything Del Sol was trying. Del Sol didn't have that kind of success. In the second match, a much different story. It was clear that Del Sol had gone back over in his mind what had happened the night before and was able to come up with an answer for some of the things Generico was doing. Now with both of them having a victory under their belt, you gotta wonder just what it's gonna take to put the other away, because now you've seen everything they've got twice. So is it gonna take something completely different to put your opponent away here?
Not sure if that's a stalemate or not. Of course, the video library of El Generico much more extensive than that of Samurai del Sol, so that could be advantage. Del Sol had a lot more pieces of tape, DVD, Blu-ray, YouTube, whatever it is, to look out for of Generico. Not so much to find of Samurai del Sol. And El Generico, like you said, a very busy guy. World travel, wrestled in something like 25 countries. Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. Changing again mid-air, turning into a head scissors there, Lenny.
Walking on his hands and then backing it up into the head scissors for a near fall. And Samurai del Sol coming in this matchup a couple of pounds lighter as he soars from the outside in. Coming to this match a couple of pounds lighter than he was for their series back in Florida at Evolve 14 and 15. While on tour in Mexico, suffered a bout of an illness. He wasn't exactly sure what it was for a while. They were worried it could have been a case of diabetes, but it seems that it's not as serious as all that. Maybe a slight case of hypoglycemia, but something he's been able to work through and is feeling much better as he makes his way into this matchup. Not something that El Generico was made privy to. Fortunately, probably for Samurai del Sol, but he didn't mention it to me when we were going over a couple of things in preparation for this matchup. So you'd have to maybe keep an eye on the stamina, perhaps, of Samurai del Sol as this match wears on. If it does go on for an extended period of time here, that could be a factor, the conditioning of Samurai del Sol in this matchup. But right now, Generico looks to gain control here again and does so with that clothesline.
Ring announcer, commentator, medical expert. You give Lenny Leonard a hat and he will wear it. No questions asked. But anyway, now Generico almost stalking here, thinking about that first match, maybe thinking about that second match, thinking about those tapes he might have watched of Samurai del Sol, and considering his next move very, very deliberately here. And a knife edge chop always works. A great equalizer, no matter who it is anywhere in the world. A knife edge chop will do the trick.
Yeah, now Generico going to the high impact offense here, striking on Samurai del Sol. Not something we've seen a lot out of. And it's del Sol again. The head scissor, clearly something that Samurai del Sol thinks can be an effective offensive weapon for him here tonight, because that is maybe the fourth time we've seen him executed here since the opening bell. And it has been effective every time he's utilized it here. And it's something that Generico hasn't found an answer for thus far in the matchup. But again, the knee to the midsection, another great equalizer. It seems maybe perhaps the more Del Sol tries to take things to the air, the more Generico trying to slow things down. And now taking a page out of Generico's book here. Walking up the ropes after that overhand chop, and it's Generico out to the floor.
If this match were a Berlin song, it would be Take My Breath Away. Also because I don't know any other Berlin songs, but the lucha stylings of Samurai del Sol doing him quite well. The time in Mexico, wherever he's learning this stuff, using it to its fullest advantage now, all the way across the ring. Woo! Just hangs in midair for a split second. Absolutely amazing offense by Samurai del Sol.
Corkscrew plunge to the floor, but Boatman, I think, feeling the effects from that maneuver on the outside. Obviously, Generico caught the brunt of it, but still impact with the solid wood floor here at the Flyers skate zone. Took its toll on Del Sol, who pitches Generico back inside the ring here. And it's Generico in the corner, needing the ropes to try and get to his feet. Oh, maybe playing possum. Exploder into the corner. Generico might have just suckered his young opponent in, and it made him pay right there. And he's got him in perfect position for that Yakuza kick, and he is poised and ready to strike. But it's Del Sol with an answer. Once again in the corner. Lance on his feet again, the agility on display into the ropes. Elevated. Again, changing position in midair. Gets the Hurricane Rana and another 2 count for Samurai del Sol.
No words. Almost literally speechless here, sitting here the way he hangs in midair. And you saw that the result of a third match. You knew that Yakuza was coming. You see El Generico barreling across the hypotenuse of the ring like that. You know what's coming. And Samurai del Sol maybe didn't have that luxury in the first match. The third time's the charm now. Picking up, look at that blue thunder bomb. Nobody home. Dips through. Sits out there. Shiranu seated position into a pin. Any offense move that lands you right in a pin is double dangerous there. He's right there with the shoulders down, but still only a dose count for Del Sol.
Brandon Tolley checking on Generico, asking him if he wants to give it up. He says no. To no one's surprise whatsoever. He's calling for the rising sun. Among the most spectacular moves in wrestling today, but no! What a counter! Blue Thunder, powerbomb, almost earned him the victory. And the second victory of this 3-match series just missed going into the column of El Generico.
I am in no place to tell El Generico how to wrestle, but the little things, Lenny, he didn't put his ankle over the hand. That little bit, I know it sounds minute, but that little bit might have been just the pressure needed to keep his hand down, consequently keep his shoulder down, but the shoulder came up out the back door. This one continues, and the continuing onslaught of Yakuza kicks, maybe in the near future of Samurai del Sol, but again, counters it a second time.
Yeah, Generico unable to hit that Yakuza kick here tonight. That one dazed him. That elbow dazed him. Generico on rubbery legs here. And again, he suckered him in. The second time, Michinoku driver for 2 again, and Generico thought that was it.
The move of the day here at Evolve, but not sure anyone throws it quite like El Generico here in the main event of the show, but only able to keep him. Curls him up in a ball, has the leg hooks, has the shoulders hook, and only a 2 count, which just shows you right there, proof positive how bad Samurai del Sol wants it.
And getting a message from Artie, our producer in our earpiece, some breaking news here. Apparently we are gonna have an Evolve title. It's been decided. We'll have more news on that in the coming days at DGUSA.tv. Let's get back to the action here. That is huge news, but Samurai del Sol for that springboard, but nobody there. Up onto the back. Counter it! Off the back of El Generico, but not enough to put him away. And Generico trying to shake the cobwebs here.
Code Red Yoshitana, call it what you will, but I've never seen it administered quite like that. And astonished that's only a 2 count. That news about an Evolve title, that made the Artie.
The rising sun! 2 3/4. That's the move that earned him the victory out of all 15. But not tonight here in Voorhees, New Jersey. The fans getting behind Del Sol And with the mask, it's difficult. You'd see no facial expressions. You gotta wonder if maybe he's a little bit dejected that he wasn't able to finish Generico off with that maneuver as he climbs the turnbuckles one more time. But the fans getting behind Generico, who's back to his feet. Forearm smash into the corner. Looking for the top rope brainbuster. But it's Del Sol from the midsection doing the damage. And now all the way up top, Rising Sun off the top. Generico trying to fight, he's hanging on. Oh, he dropped down. Big boot in the corner. That one rocked Del Sol. The youngster on Dream Street as Generico climbs the top. Top rope brainbuster. Can he go for the cover here? The crowd on their feet. Generico inching over. Cover. And it is over. El Generico victorious in our main event.